What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today some Granblue Fantasy Versus for y'all. So when the game dropped, I dropped a quick Katalina Day 1 guide. Obviously we have come very far since February, I think like 22nd, like the end of February or something. We've had a patch, a lot of development, so today I'm going to start putting together a Katalina guide, and we are going to start with Katalina combos and when to use them. If you like this video or any of the other videos I put out, I would recommend liking this video, subscribing to the channel if you already have not, or doing both. It does help the channel grow, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Alright, so Katalina. So we're going to kind of break this down into mid-screen and corner. We'll go through ground combos and anti-air combos and cash outs. Despite being such a simple character, she does have a lot of varied confirms you have to use, so hopefully this all makes sense. Again, this is Katalina combos and when to use them. So the first place to start is, of course, auto combo. So after your auto combo, you can basically pick to do whatever you want. As an ender, you can end with Dwa, A-Dwa, BP, Fireball, right? But I have a couple of personal recommendations of what to end with. Generally, you want to use A or EX, like this. In the case where you don't want to use your EX Dwa or your Fireball, I recommend ending with the medium DP or EX DP. If they're crouching, you can use the medium version of her stab here to knock down, but that works only on crouching. Now, if you're really uncertain about how your opponent likes to defend, like if they're DP happy or something like that, I really recommend using EX moves to knock down mid-screen so that you get a lot of frame advantage. Because of the way they changed her jab, despite being able to still meaty jab and block DPs, you really can't do it off any meterless knockdown anymore. You have to use an EX version of a move. Now, your standard with punish confirm is going to be EX Dwa. Basically, anywhere you can touch an opponent's hurt box, you can confirm into that. Being able to confirm into that is pretty important. When they whiff like this, you kind of have more time, but there's also just randomly tagging them and hitting them too. You can confirm into EX Dwa. If you can't do it off random hits, it's okay. Even good players have problems doing that, especially, you know, we're all playing online right now. But at least if they whiff, you should be confirming into the EX version. Similarly, a much easier random hit confirm is with her super. So if you are playing neutral here, you can confirm into super. So I personally recommend using the easy input for this. The damage is the same because it's one hit. As a note, too, at max range, this will generally whiff. Generally. Or if you're whiff punishing things, you might whiff it at max range, so just keep that in mind. This is another pretty important mid-screen confirm for her. So what this does here is, this is a frame trap that has a confirm built into it. If they block the whole string, then you're just fine and safe. If they get hit, then you confirm into this. Generally, people will be getting hit here, so you're looking to confirm this part. So, for example, I have the computer to set to random guard, so I'm aiming to confirm that part when my low hits, because that's generally when your opponent will get hit. It's pretty important to have this confirm down. Similarly to using 2M super, you could also do this type of confirm as well. And the nice thing too is that you also can use your SSBA. I also recommend using the shortcut here, so something like this is fine. Now, if you manually input it, you'll get more damage in this case, because of course the cinematic will activate. So the main difference between picking to use Dwa and using supers, besides damage of course, is resources mid-screen. There will be times where you want to just have the resource back, or try to get the resource back, so you want to spend the meter, or maybe you have no resources, aka special moves, so you have to use the meter. There could be cases where you have meter, but instead you choose to carry them to the corner so that your next big hit you get like a fat combo like that. It's up to you to make those type of choices. These will definitely vary depending on situation, what you have available, etc. So jumping is pretty simple for her, so she has this as a confirm, but you generally have to delay. So personally, I don't use this that much. So on counter it, you have a few options. Some people like going this route, and then you end with whatever you want. However, you have to use light wall, and it's kind of committal, and if you light wall, then you basically don't get anything if they don't get hit. So on the other hand, you can confirm and pick something like this, or you can pick something like this, and then pick super, DP, whatever. So for the most part on counter hit, you're probably just gonna go straight into duel. You also want your resources maybe for later, for offense. It just depends on whether or not they have life, are you close enough to the corner, the usual stuff. So next we'll talk about corner combos. So for corner combos, we will be talking more about routing, because here you get to bounce off the wall. So in the corner, she does a lot of damage. So both off auto combo and the jab, crouching jab, far jab, and any like random poke into EX wall, you have a couple of options that you could do. So the first one would be to do a combo into DP. This doesn't do that much damage, but you get a nice little confirm. Of course, you could choose to just super quickly as well if you want. If you're trying to cash out, a simple cash out would be to confirm into EX wall, then use your fireball, then use super like this. Off jabs, it doesn't do that much, but off other pokes, it does a little bit more. Now, the combo you want to aim for involves starting with EX Fireball. This is pretty much her optimal corner combo. Here's an example. Now here we're using Fireball and Duel again, but you're doing much more damage. Now, if you want to compare, because I started the first combo with jabs, I'll do it like this. So as you can see, it does a significant amount more damage. Now here is the other fireball route. So I'll have a note in the description with the character specifics from here on out, because a bunch of this stuff is kind of character specific. It's easy enough to remember because it's big groups, but it's still character specific. I'm not going to actually show these combos on every character. I'm just going to show an example. So for the fireball combo I just showed, there's basically two groups, and when you do your fireball, once you do your crouching heavy, you either use the light version of Duel or the medium version of Duel. So in this case, against characters like Charlotte, like Fairy, you would have to use the medium version. So here's an example. So the routing is basically the same, but you're using the medium version of Duel. Now, if you don't feel like using both your resources, you can choose to do this as well. And then you'll have your Duel and your DP for later. Again, similarly, for people who use the light version of this move, you can do basically the same thing, but you're going to do close heavy here instead. So when are you using this combo? So you're generally doing this off frame traps. So if you try to frame trap with, let's say, that or this, then if they get hit, you can cash out using the heavy version of Fireball. So next, let's talk about jumping in the corner, because jumping is something that people will do to try to escape your throws, or maybe just try to get out of the corner depending on what's happening. So here, if you hit either a close H or a 2H and it's counter hit, then you basically get a really fat combo because they're in the corner, so you don't have to worry about traveling. So you could do a few things. So this is the combo I recommend generally. If you have the resources available. Now, next I want to talk about her double DP combos. So here in the corner, there are ways, and this is character specific as well, to hit 2 DPs in one combo. Or a better way of putting it is to get her medium DP to juggle so you can extend combos. If you can do this on the characters that it's available on, it's really, really nice because it makes the threat of getting hit by this when you have full resources much higher, and it's really nice for your cooldowns. So here's an example on Katalina. But there are other ways of doing this and ending it. So here's another example. And of course you could super if you want or whatever. When you're doing the DP juggle, you need to kind of eyeball it to see how much time you have to link a normal. This is 5 frames and this is 6 frames. But I usually only go for this when I see them kind of floating really high. Now, for example, when you do it to light characters like Medora, you can get it even to the point where you can get a close heavy, which is really good because the close heavy damage is higher. So in this example here, I managed to get the close heavy to connect. So similarly to what I said before, I will list the character specifics for this combo here. The main thing you got to remember is that it's really annoying on Narmaya. You can't do it to Charlotte. It is pretty annoying to do to Jita and Percival as well. But besides that, you can pretty much get this on every character. It does take some practice. If you can't do it, it's okay. But if you can do it, it really helps. Why does this help? Why do I need to learn this combo if it's kind of annoying to learn? So in this patch, I'm assuming she had these combos in the previous patch. These aren't new. But since they nerfed the proximity range on our close M, before you could do this. So I mean, you can still do this now as I'm showing, but it will not work on block. So whether or not they were blocking, you could do a string like that. So here, if I have her block, I will always get 4M. And generally, the way people are defending jabs, when they get hit by lows, they'll generally get hit by the second low. So the fact that the close M does not come out here kind of screws up your confirm. So this is kind of how they addressed her damage, because of having this as close M, then she got pressure and her ideal range and like a 40% combo if she hit you. Now you have to use this, so you kind of give up pressure unless you burn your EX. If you hit them, cool, but if you don't use, if you choose to use your fireball, then you do more damage, but then you kind of burned your main resources for combos, so the next hit doesn't really mean anything unless you have meter. So with the double DP combo, you are kind of acting like Jita and using all your special moves so you can cycle your special moves back immediately. So after hearing that, look at her special moves now. Okay, so the way I want to end this video is with a couple of situational confirms that could possibly come up. The big one, of course, would be this. So when you hit with this, like that, this hit will definitely come up. There are matches where the threat of this is really high because when their back's to the corner, you get a wall bounce. Here, you don't really get anything, but here, you do if you hit them. So of course, if you have a resource, you could do the standard, like, once you play her for a while, you kind of get the hang of, oh, I have Dwell and Fireball, so I hit Dwell, I use my Fireball, and then I do DP or Super. You get used to that groove, kind of. And similarly, but this one's less obvious, if you hit a Fireball here, like that, this can be confirmed the other way. And you can do, say, 5 to Super. So for example here, it is the same type of thing. You can similarly land a double DP. Doing this is pretty tricky. I'll also post character-specific notes about this. It doesn't have to be EX Fireball start as well. It could be just straight up Dwell. Like that. What you have to do definitely varies by character. And I'll list these as well. But again, the main point of going for these is that you are cycling your cooldowns in a more positive way by juggling with the Dragon Punch. Okay, hopefully that made sense. She's a pretty vanilla character, like she's a pretty simple and straightforward character, but if you want to push the character, there are like nice little nuances and character specific stuff that you can do. Again, as I said multiple times in this video, I will have the character specific notes about both the optimal corner combo and the double DP combos. This one specifically is pretty tricky. I'm only like just implementing this into my game. I only like figured these out earlier this week. But as far as like the standard double DP, there are already other top Katalina players using this. I'm using this as well. It is very helpful. You don't have to do those combos to play her successfully. As long as you have like your standard dwell confirms and your standard auto combo and the fireball stuff, then you're fine. But those really do help out your game if you have them. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.